Hi everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you are doing well. So this video is going to be a little something different than what you have seen on my channel to this point. Obviously, those who have been here to this point know that I have transitioned from a nail enthusiast to a professional nail technician, and I do work in a salon full time, but I'm starting to take clients at home. And this is my very first client, and I asked permission to be able to videotape her. Does anyone say videotape anymore? To record her while, or at least her hand, while I was doing her manicure, and she said yes. So that's what I'm bringing to you today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you will continue to watch, and if you do like it, I invite you to please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos post. And I hope to be able to bring more of these style videos to you so that you can actually see the full process from start to finish. And I'm just going to quickly go through each step as I hit a new step. So right now, of course, I'm doing the removal process. This client, I've only had her as a client. This is her second visit. The first time was in the salon. This time is in my home. And she had a full set done, a new set, 4 weeks ago. So this is her first fill, and to be honest, if she hadn't insisted on doing a fill, I would have done a complete new set, because the grow out was to the point where it's just not healthy for the nail to keep the old product on. Now, if she had had an abundance of lifting and problems with water underneath and greenies or any kind of bacterial growth, or if there was problems with the nails, then I absolutely would have insisted on removal. But the nails, she had 100% retention. The nail still looked pretty decent, and I knew I could restructure the nail and bring it back to a point where they would not do any damage to her nails. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going ahead and removing the old polish, and once that is done, I'm going to go in and do the standard nail prep to get ready for her fill process.
Send me off with the words of a lullaby. I've been trying to make sense of it.
Alright, so now that all the polish is removed, I'm going in and using my nippers to just take away whatever areas of the nails are lifted. On some nails there wasn't any lifting, and on some there was just minimal liftings at the corners. There was only one nail where there really was a good amount of lifting, so I trimmed that back as best as possible so that I can go in and prepare for the acrylic application. Alright, so using my cuticle pusher, I'm going to go ahead and gently push back the cuticles that are on the nail plate towards the proximal nail fold. You don't want to be too rough, you don't want to scrape against the skin, you want to go flush with the nail and just gently push the cuticle back towards the proximal nail fold. You can lift it a little bit. You don't really want to go too far. I try not to go too far into a traditional Russian manicure technique because it really is quite dangerous to lift the nail fold to extremes, because then you can risk getting bacteria and particulates in underneath the nail fold, which can lead to infections. You just want to gently push it back so that you can get it off the nail plate. And then whatever you don't get off the nail plate, you can go in with a cuticle bit, which is what I'm using right now, to go along the proximal nail fold and against the nail plate so that you can get off the rest of the protein. So the method that I use, or I should say the technique that I use, is I go in one direction from the pinky to the thumb. So I use my right hand, which is dominant hand, and that has the direction the drill bit going in the forward direction. And then once I get from the pinky to the thumb, I reverse the direction to reverse, as if you were using your left hand on your right hand. And then I go in the opposite direction on the nail plate. So in the forward direction, I pull towards me. As you can see, I'm going from right to left, and then I reverse it. Once I go through all 5 fingers, I reverse it, and I go from left to right, so that I can go down the left-hand side of the nail plate and then go down the right-hand side of the nail plate. Once all the cuticle is off the nail plate and pushed back, I use my nippers once again to trim off all of the remaining cuticle so that the nail fold is nice and clean and the nail is properly prepped for the application of new product. I want to say I was having problems on my client's nail with the cuticle bit that I was using initially for the cuticle removal. I have a cone-shaped cuticle bit, which I use on myself all the time. I use it in the salon all the time. I've never had a problem, but for whatever reason, it seemed to be really digging into her nail plates. She did say that she has naturally really thin nails, so I swapped it out for a diamond bit. It's not cone-shaped. I don't even know what to call the shape. It's rounded at the tip, and I decided that it would be safer for her nails so that minimizes any damages. I wouldn't be removing any of her, thinning out her natural nail, just removing the cuticle. I don't ever want to run the risk of doing any damage to my client's nail plate. So when necessary, use an abundance of caution.
Most of my life, blowing smoke everywhere around. I've been searching, but I can't seem to find someone that can hold me through the night. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you stay, then baby hold me tight.
The last bit of nail prep that I always do is to go in with my mandrel bit and a sanding band. This is a 180 grit band, but I would also possibly go to 240 to just really take down any remaining ridge there is between the old product and her natural nail plate, and also remove any protein particles, any cuticle that may still be on the nail plate. This also helps clean up the proximal nail fold a little bit more and really just clean up and smooth out the nail plate to get it prepped for the next stage, which will be the acrylic application.
It's been right in front of me this whole time. Can't believe I didn't see the light. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you stay, then baby hold me tight and send
Last step is to spray with alcohol. Make sure you cleanse those nails, get all of the dust off, because any dust, any particulates on the nail plate will prevent proper adhesion of the product. So then once the nails are completely cleaned, you can go in with your protein bond and make sure that you have something tacky on the nail so that the product sticks. The product I'm using is Committ from Luminary Nail Systems. I will say that I do usually use Young Nails, but I brought my last bottle to the salon. Young Nails is having a sale right now. On some products, it's buy one, get one, which is the sale that they're having for the end of July, and it covers the protein bond also. So I ordered 6 more bottles, which I'm really excited about, and hopefully it will come sooner rather than later. The clear acrylic powder I'm using is also from Young Nails, as is the monomer, I believe, which is in a Kiara Sky Dappen dish. I absolutely love this glass Dappen dish. I've had that monomer in the glass dish for months, and none of it has evaporated, and I never smell it. So I'm using, also the brush is Kiara Sky. It's one of their Kolinsky brushes, number 8. It's the smallest that any brand has or any brand makes. I do wish that there was a slightly smaller one, because I find that most of the people that I use acrylic on their natural beds do tend to be a little bit more narrow. So I kind of wish they made a size 6 Kolinsky brush, but I do the best that I can. I've also found that there is quite a difference between the absorption power of the acrylic that I use at home versus what I use in the salon. I don't know the brand of what we use in the salon. It's in an unmarked container, but it really does. I want to say it doesn't soak up the liquid as well, because it's always very runny. I always have to dab the brush on the paper towel before I go ahead and apply the acrylic to the nail. So usually what I'll do is I fully saturate my brush. I dip it into the acrylic to get the proper size bead that I need. And then if it looks extra wet, then I dab the back side of the brush that doesn't have the acrylic on it on a towel, something that doesn't have a lot of lint, but something that's going to really soak up that liquid and not just lay on top. And then I apply the acrylic to the nail. But the Young Nails acrylic seems to be highly absorbent, so I found that my beads were a little bit more dry and they were setting up faster. It could also be that because it's been very hot, I'm in South Florida and it's been very hot and humid. It could also be that it's just drying it faster, because acrylic dries faster the hotter it is. So that could also be a factor, but I'm in a highly air-conditioned home, so I don't think that had much an effect. But anyway, so I'm just going along finger by finger, putting the bulk of the product down at the cuticle, since that's where we need to add the product. And then if I thinned out the tip of the nail more on one nail versus the other, then I place a little bit more at the tip and then brush it back towards the cuticle to level it out. If you want me to do a video specifically on acrylic application, let me know down in the comments below. I will certainly do that. But right now I just want to give an overview of what I did with this client, and less of a, a how-to on how to use acrylic. But it's really ironic, because when I first started doing nails, I started with dip and then I transitioned into gel. And I kind of just started playing around with acrylic because it's something that I've always been kind of intrigued by. It's very sculptorally, if that's even a word. I find it to be one of the more, I don't even want to say challenging, just more artistic aspects of nail techniques and nail products, because you really get in there and you have to sculpt it and form it, and it takes a little bit more work. But it's something that I've always been intrigued by, and kind of slowly just started playing around with it. And now it's like one of the main products that I use in work all the time. Most of the clients that come into the salon wants full acrylic sets, which you don't really see that much in most markets anymore. It's Gel X, it's regular gel, it's dipping powder, but I'm surprised at how popular acrylic still is within the industry and with my clients specifically. But I'm just going to finish up her acrylic application. I'm now going in on her left hand, starting with the pinky and continuing on to the thumb, and then going to get into the shaping. Bringing my dust collector back into the mix now because we're going to get back into filing and shaping. This is the Chiara Sky dust collector. It is fantastic. Honestly, it works better using it on a client than it works on myself. Probably because usually when I use it on myself, I have it faced horizontally instead of vertically, so the air is capturing the dust particles a little bit differently, but also because her hand is right over the center of it versus when I'm doing it, it's probably not positioned properly. But the first thing you want to do after an acrylic application is break the seal between the side wall and her skin, because no matter what you're doing, no matter how careful you are, the monomer with a little bit of acrylic residue is washing up against the skin, and you're going to get a little bit of product going over the sidewall, and and fusing the skin to the nail. So you want to break that seal with an actual manual hand file, and then just reshape the sidewalls and crisp up the free edge. So that's what I'm doing on all 10 fingers, and then I'm going to be going back in with the cuticle bit to further clean up the lines along her cuticle, or rather against her nail fold. You want to make sure that you really blend down that line so that as it's growing out, you're not getting a pronounced ridge. And as I did with cleaning up her cuticles, I went from center left around the left side of her nail, going in the forward motion, and then I went around to the right in the reverse direction, going along the right hand side of her cuticle. Sometimes I will fudge it a little bit, and if there's enough space, I will just go in one clean motion from right to left around the entire nail, so that I'm not, flipping back and forth from left, forward, reverse, forward, reverse. Usually on the thumbnails though, I can't do that. The nail is too large, and I can't get the motion down properly with pulling it in that, around to the left from the right hand side of the nail. So I'll go in one direction, reverse the rotation of the nail, the drill bit, and then go back in the opposite direction. Going into the final bit of shaping of her nail and cleaning up is using, once again, the sanding band on the mandrel bit. Now these are the narrow sanding bits, which I absolutely love. I will never use the full-sized sanding bits again. I think these are perfect. And I'm just going around the nail fold again to make sure any pieces of skin or nail particles that are sticking up are removed, and then I'm going across the nail plate to smooth that out and make sure that the apex is set properly and that there's a smooth transition from the nail down into the sidewall and around the proximal nail fold. I'm also taking it down around the tip of the cuticle to make sure it tapers down properly and that the tip of the nail, the free edge, isn't too thick. One of the things that they specified or really highlighted in school was that the thickness of a nail shouldn't be any thicker than a credit card. So I really try to make sure that the profile is as slim and natural as possible.
I've been running most of my life, blowing smoke everywhere around. I've been searching, but I can't seem to find someone that can hold me through the night. I'll count words of a lullaby. I've been trying to make sense of it all, looking for signs in the stars, but it's been right in front of me this whole time. Can't believe I didn't see the light. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you'll stay, then baby hold me tight and send me off with the words of a lullaby. With the words of a lullaby. Send me off with the words of a lullaby. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right here. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right here. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you'll stay, then baby hold me tight and send me off with the words of a lullaby. With the words of a lullaby. Send me off with the words of a lullaby.
All right, so we're in the home stretch. I am using Madame Glam's acid-free primer to go ahead and get the nails ready for polish. And I believe I'm using Dusky Denim from Apres as the color. It's a beautiful blue. We were going to use this other Madame Glam color that is kind of like an iridescent pearlescent blue, but it really would have needed a background color because it was a little too sheer. So we switched to the Apres color, which she absolutely loved, and we did a French manicure accent on her ring fingers with a silver chrome underline for the French. Now I had plugged my phone in when I first started recording because I knew the battery was low, and I plugged the cord that goes into the phone. I plugged in, but I didn't actually plug it into a wall socket. So I get to the polishing portion of the video and I happen to look at the phone and I realize that the screen is dark. So I missed the first coat of putting on the polish, but it's fine. You all know how to put polish on nails. You don't really need to see the details of that.
It's been right in front of me this whole time. Can't believe I didn't see the light. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you'll stay, then baby hold me tight and send me off with the words of a lullaby. With the words of a lullaby. Send me off with the words of a lullaby. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right here. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right Of a lullaby. I've been trying to make sense of it all, looking for signs in the stars, but it's been right in front of me this whole time. Can't believe I didn't see the light. Count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you'll stay, then baby hold me tight and send me off with the words of a lullaby. With the words of a lullaby. Send me off with the words of a lullaby. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right here. If I never see the light, I wouldn't care, 'cause I'm so perfect right here. I'll count to 10, then open up my eyes. If you're gone, I'll take it as a sign. But if you'll stay, then baby hold me tight and send me off with the words of a lullaby. With the words of a lullaby. Send me off with the words of a lullaby. I've been running most of my life, blowing smoke everywhere around. I've been searching, but I can't see.
So I had a bit of a panic moment at this stage because I'm touching her nails and I'm wondering why it's still tacky. I'm looking at the bottle and it says top coat, and then I realized that it wasn't a non-tacky top coat. It didn't clear without the inhibition layer because Madame Glam has two versions. They have the non-tacky and they have the tacky. So I had pulled the wrong bottle. So all you have to do in that instance is take a little bit of swipe solution if you have it from Young Nails, or isopropyl alcohol, and just cleanse the surface of the nail. And once that's done, you can go ahead and just do a little bit of finish filing to make sure there's nothing hanging off the nail from the entire process. And then finish up with some cuticle oil, which is what I'm doing now. This is from Cuccio, and you can see on my nails my Deadpool manicure from about a month ago, which I'm wearing right now and I absolutely love. And if you wanted to see it, then go ahead and check back to July 24th. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like watching this style of video, and I will see you in future ones. Take care, hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you soon. Bye.